Get this show rolling.
Let's get it.
Yo, man, it's almost 4:30. I gotta get the fuck out of here.
This is the social norm.
1, 2. You want top dollar and pop bottles and drop knowledge. Hit the throttle on nice autos without college. Do yourself a solid, put them boys on your screen.
Turn the mics up.
I mean canteen and beans. When the social norm is on, you
That's
better
fine.
pay attention. They teach you lessons, make you laugh when you're stressing. Must I mention that the style is infectious? I gotta have it, The rapid fire gabbing on my tablet. My boys established a gamut of information from relations to dating to when your leader gets impatient. They're lacing the nation every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 4:30. The Social Norm Podcast, you heard me?
We back, y'all.
It's the social norm.
I know y'all thought we wasn't gonna come back, but we back.
It's the social norm.
And I'm just getting warm.
It's the social norm.
And I'm just getting warm.
All right, let's get this show on the fucking road, y'all.
And I'm just getting warm.
What up, y'all? Yo. You already know what it is, man. It's your boy Canteen. Hey, I'm rocking with my man
What's
Beans.
going on, y'all?
It's the Social Norm Podcast. We go ahead and talk to y'all, open y'all minds, make y'all think a little different, make y'all be the best y'all can be, man. Today, hey, it's Friday, and I'm back. I know y'all missed us. We back, though. You know, I had a little hiatus. I went on a little vacation. You know, the happy holidays to everybody for Thanksgiving and anybody who's celebrating, you know, future holidays, whatever. But a lot has happened. A lot has happened in these couple weeks that we were gone.
Yeah.
Some good, some bad, some ugly. But it don't really matter because we back with y'all. Now, before we go ahead and get into this episode, you know I got to go ahead and give y'all this disclaimer.
There it is.
This is me and Bean's personal opinion. This is not factual. This is not the ultimate. This is not the end all be all. It's just what we feel and how we see things. Y'all got y'all opinion. We got ours. So we're going to go ahead and respect both of them. Now, today's episode. What's the episode damn name of this damn thing? When doing the right thing when no one else tells fuck it. I'm sloppy already.
Doing the right thing when everyone else is telling you.
Doing the right thing when everyone tells you not to.
AKA fight the power.
Fight the power. Now look, every once in a while in your life, there gonna come times where you're gonna have to go down a road. It's either go left or go right. And everybody gonna try to tell you which way they think you should go.
Mm-hmm.
But you in your gut know the way you're supposed to go. And everybody's gonna be like, "No, you gotta do this. You got." And so many of us fold under pressure and say, "Okay, I'm gonna do what everybody else telling me to do." But there's something inside you that knows that's not the way to do it.
Well, I mean, everybody wants to take the road of least resistance. I mean, everybody wants the easy way out, but life don't work like that.
But there's a select few people in the world that don't take the easy road. They take the hard road, which ends up being the better road taken. Now, back in, I want to say, what was this, 2016, 2015, 2016, Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
He went and stood for something and said, I'm going to kneel on the, during the national anthem.
Yep.
To where I'm going to go ahead and protest the injustices that I've seen that have been going towards minorities and people of color towards law enforcement.
Police brutality,
police
brutality. Peaceful
protest, mind you. But everybody in their mama told them this is not the way to do things. This is not how you should protest. This is not how you should do.
And they made it about the flag, and it wasn't even about that.
It wasn't.
The media made it about that, and the people just ran with it.
Hey, so much. Now, fast forward years later, we realize all the injustices that he was trying to protest for literally was the right thing to do. Yeah. And the people who pretty much use him as a sacrificial lamb, because after the situation, he lost
everything
in their minds.
Yeah, well, yeah, he lost material, like money.
He lost the right to play the sport he loved and worked
Yeah.
hard for. But in other words, he also gained the respect from other people being a pioneer for injustice.
Yeah.
And I feel like honestly, he will go down in history.
Oh yeah.
Before this, if he would have just played out his career, he was a mediocre quarterback. He had his little time in the
Say,
sun.
didn't they go? Didn't they go to the Super Bowl one
They
year?
went to the Super Bowl, but they were a good team, and I think it was Alex Smith that actually was the one who was the
Yeah.
starter at the time. He took over.
Yeah.
But besides all that, he's gonna go down in history because of the choices he made, and he went against the social norm. He went against what everybody else told him to do because he knew in his heart this is the right thing to do. Now, recently he came out with this Netflix episode
Yes.
series called
I believe it's
Colin
called
in Black and White.
Yes.
And they had a whole uproar about the show because they were saying that it depicts African American athletes who, in the process of the combine, being like slavery,
Slaves
slave trade.
on the slave block.
Yes,
Yes.
and that's how the first episode starts. So it's already risky.
And here go the thing. If I've noticed that about the media, they'll take that one little
Nitpick.
clip, and then they'll make it all about. There'll be an uproar about it. If you watch the series, he mentioned it like it was like in passing.
Shout out
like,
LB.
I know I seen him.
Yeah,
It was in passing. It was like he said, "This is what it's like," but then he just kept moving on. The episode wasn't all about.
no. What the series is about is his process from being a kid in high school,
Yes.
growing up, trying to find his way in a white society where he's a mixed kid. He has white parents. He was adopted,
Yes.
and it just shows this through his eyes of what he saw things. There were a lot of times his counterparts, his family, his friends, they were oblivious to what he was doing, what he was going through. And they kept trying to tell him how to live his life in the way they saw it, but they weren't looking at it through his eyes.
Yeah, they didn't understand. I will say this: the mother, she tried to get him to understand. In the beginning, she tried to understand where he's coming from, like with the Allen Iverson thing.
Yeah.
Like, and I remember that too growing up when he had the cornrows. Everybody called him a thug, and he looks like a drug dealer and all this other stuff. And Colin Kaepernick wanted it. He wanted the cornrows,
As he should.
and
AI was that boy.
yeah, the answer.
Come on now.
The answer. Everybody loved Iverson. So his mother took him to the if you ever got your hair twisted or braided, you got to go to somebody.
I remember the time I got braids maybe twice in my life
Okay.
because my head was tender skin. It hurt so bad. I was just like, this is what people doing? Like, I was not with it. And I felt like it didn't fit my head. So I left it alone. But in the show, it shows the times that she really did care about him, but her whiteness stopped her from trying to engulf herself in his way of thinking and how he saw things.
I really think it was her fear and insecurity, because she didn't really have a problem with taking him to get his hair braided until she saw two things. One, that the chick was braiding hair, she was a lesbian.
Yes.
She had a problem with that.
Yes.
And then when he was eating their food, he was eating like black food for the first time, soul food for the first time. And she's like, you got to put a lot of seasoning on it. And he was like, nah, this is good how it is.
I don't think that was a problem. I think she was like, wow, he likes their food better than my food.
Yeah, that's
but
what I'm
I think
saying.
her problem was, like I said, the lesbian thing. And then from that, probably the culture of, okay, letting my kid be around that type of stuff. Because you got to realize, y'all, this show is back when stigmas of gays being, outsiders.
Yeah.
The whole you dressing like a thug because you have cornrows or dreads or any of those things. So
she was not ready for like
that culture shock.
Like like I said, if you ever got your hair twisted or braided at somebody's house, sometimes it could be a little.
Now, watching that show, really, I could understand it because I grew up in white America. I literally grew up in an all-white school. around all white people.
And that's why I wanted you to watch it. I said, if anybody can understand this,
100%.
kids can understand.
100%. I understood what he was going through. From them saying, you're one of the nice ones.
Yeah.
I've had that happen to
Yeah.
me, and I always was like, it's like I took offense to it, but I didn't take offense to it.
Because
I understood that this is how they are.
it's like a backhanded compliment.
Yes.
It's like you saying you pretty for a dark skinned girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like that. Oh, you one of the good ones. Oh, so
And
the rest of us are bad? Like that's
but then as I got older, I realized it wasn't that they were trying to be the way they are. They're the same way you have black people who never grew up around white people, and they have that stigma of what they think white people are.
Yeah.
White people grew up around themselves and not around black people, so they only can go off of what they see in the media.
Unfortunately. And it's never good.
Yeah, it's never good. But
They always pick out the bad stuff. And
in this,
I understand. I understand. Like, if you watch it, you'll understand. Like, I know you would, but I understood why he did what he did in the NFL
100%,
because he went through so much BS.
so much them trying to put him in a box to be who they wanted him to be,
Yeah.
instead of him being what he. At some point in our culture, we have to get past the stigma of what you think someone's supposed to look like or supposed to act. Because imagine, and I'm guilty of it. We all are. To where if you were to walk in and you had to get surgery by a doctor, and the doctor had lip earrings and tattoos and long crazy hair, wild, different color hair, things like that, you're gonna question how well of a surgeon this person is. And
Yeah.
in the same fashion, living in white America, if you're a black kid living in white America, sorry, y'all, they expect you to look a certain way and act a certain way to where you look non-violent. You don't look like a threat to them. Because if you are the appearance of somebody who lives in the hood, who wears a
Mhm.
do-rag, who has dreads, who has, cornrows, who has tattoos, who wears certain clothing, they're gonna look at you as a threat, even though you could be the nicest person ever.
And that's the sad thing because the clothing ain't got nothing to do with your character. It has nothing to do with it. Like look at the whole. Remember the other documentary we watched, the Juan Artes
Yes.
situation.
Yeah.
Now, look what happened after that. They made him stop wearing do rags. They made him wear shirts and ties and all this other things after that one incident.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what? That their clothes have nothing to do with.
But that's how they
happened.
but that's how the mind of human beings think. If you dress a certain way, then that means you are that way. And
Yeah.
it's sad because we know that's the farthest from the truth.
Yeah.
Let me see some of these comments.
Even oh yeah.
Because I can't see who's
Okay,
commenting.
so Brandon says a non-controversial topic. And then he says, it's not the combine idea. It's not a new idea. People have been saying that about the combine for years. That's true.
I mean, I get it. And then you get so many people who say, "Oh well, they're getting paid a lot of money. They should just accept it." Well, what's the difference between the only reason they're getting paid a lot of money is because they know at this point it's such a cash cow. They have to give the product some of the money.
But don't most sports do that though?
What?
You gotta get some type of showcase, don't you? Don't they make like what is it called when you make tapes of all your best games?
Oh, you talking about like a workout video?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say a lot of places do that. A lot of
I know a lot of colleges you gotta do that for colleges and stuff.
Here we go. Get up in here.
Get it.
Here we go. All right. He said, "Oh, Hill, you said you went to a predominantly white school too?" And I think anybody who's black who gone to a predominantly white school, you got all the same things that if you ever watch the show, and I'm telling everybody,
Yeah.
go watch the Colin Kaepernick Black and White. You will look at him through a different light. I think
You will understand.
why he is the way he is, and to the point where you have, and I get this is the thing. I'm very accepting of people. I understand culturally everybody's different. We're interested in the differences of each other, but
Yeah.
we're also scared of the differences between each other.
Yeah.
You get those people who right now there's white girls who come up to you and be like, "Oh, your hair," and they want to touch it.
I've
They
had that
want,
happen.
or white dudes. It doesn't really matter, but um, some people might take offense to it. I understand it's because they're interested.
Yeah.
But then I also understand I've been a part of times where, like, I'll give you an example. One time I was in rehab getting my ankle worked on,
Mm-hmm.
and there was predominantly all white people. It was all white girls, older white women there. And the TV show, there was TV on, and there was a cooking show on, and they had a celebrity there. And the one lady said, "Why do they always have a celebrity instead of having an actual chef that knows how to cook?" And I said, the reason they do that is because people know who that celebrity is. They would rather watch that celebrity cook something than watch a trained professional chef that nobody knows. And then out of nowhere, a woman, we start talking about cooking, and a woman says, "Well, I sure wish I could learn how to cook fried chicken. I know you could teach me on with that." And I said,
Oh
"Oh no,
man.
I don't know how to cook fried chicken."
Oh
Mind
man.
you, I do know how to cook fried chicken, but I was
I
like,
think
it'd be
everybody.
damn if I let her know I know how to cook fried
Yeah, I
chicken.
think I'm not gonna lie. I hate to put this stereotype out there. I think everybody black at least attempted it once. I know how to cook it too, but I
But it was that right there. She didn't realize that could be
take in.
taken as a racial comment because she just assumed I knew how to cook fried chicken because I was a black man. And the funny thing is, there was ladies there, and they knew when she said it that she shouldn't have said it
It got
because she
quiet.
was like, they looked at me, and they were like, "I'm sorry," and I'm like, "It's okay," because if I didn't grow up where I grew up and be around who I've been around, I would have took offense to it. I would have been mad. I would have been an angry black man. But I realized she doesn't even know what she's doing.
Yeah, they don't know. To them, that's normal.
That's normal. That's just
And
regular friendly
she
conversation.
and she don't know it, or she's saying it could be deemed as offensive.
And we live in a world where you got to just be yourself and not be worried about how you are coming off to other people.
Yeah.
Be as long as you're not hurting people. The problem is people feel like you're hurting them if you're not being the way they want you to be. I don't understand how Colin Kaepernick's protests hurt people. It didn't.
They needed somebody to hate.
The thing is, once they put you in a box and you step outside that box, that's when they have a problem with it, and that's when they're going to try to push you back into that box. All they wanted was for Colin to say, I'm not going to kneel no more,"
And he
and
was
and they
like,
would have been fine with it. But guess what? He said, "I'm not doing that anymore," and this why I'm not doing it anymore. I did it when I was a kid. I'm not doing it now as a grown man.
yeah, he went through a lot of things I didn't know. That I like baseball. A lot of people, if you don't know this, baseball was actually Colin Kaepernick's first sport.
Yes.
Like he was very good at it. He had like 7, 8 like full ride scholarships, but he didn't want to play. He didn't want to play baseball. He didn't want to play it at all. But the
No.
baseball coach kept trying to get him to like, yo, accept this scholarship.
And think about this. What did you feel like the reason that guy wanted him to accept it? Do you think it was because personally he could have had kudos to say, "Oh, look,
Yeah,
I brought somebody to the league"?
Yeah,
Or
he was doing it for himself.
he definitely was. He was never doing it for, and that's the thing people got to realize. When somebody's trying to get you to stop doing something, think about their motive. Is they truly trying to do it so you can be better off? or are they just trying to get past the struggle that you're gonna have to go through to get to the other side? Because even in our job, I personally had moments where people have told me not to do something. Stop it. Just go ahead and fold. And I knew it wasn't right. And I didn't do that. And guess what? I ended up winning on the other side. And guess what? They tried to act like, oh man. And then you see everybody doing exactly the same thing, following suit because they saw it could be done.
Yeah, our job is tough because what's good for the goose ain't always good for the gander. It's unfortunate, but that's not it, all right. But anyway, don't
But
get me started on it. Don't get me started
now
on that.
10 out of 10, I recommend to go see that.
Yes,
Go watch it.
very good. I was surprised. I was actually pleasantly surprised how good it was.
And as y'all come up in here, what I mean, we appreciate y'all being in here with us. Go ahead and like, share, subscribe. Go ahead. We got a YouTube channel that we're gonna be starting to grow up, do reaction videos on
Yeah,
called The Social Norm. Go click on that. Try to follow us on that. And at this point in time, it's the holidays. So if anybody want to go ahead and hit us with some cash app, it's the Social Norm Podcast. Go ahead and hit us up. You know what I mean? Let us have a good holiday.
donations.
I ain't mad at y'all. But now recently you said you had came in. No, I'm gonna leave that on the we're just gonna leave that on rolling so y'all
Yeah.
can check it out. Now you told me that you had came across something.
Yes,
Go ahead and
and
talk to
I
us.
was scrolling through while you were out on doing your thing. I was trying to figure out what
Talk
we
about.
can talk about
Mhm.
on the show, and I came across this thing called transabled.
Transable.
Now, basically, this is like people who are like not physically handicapped. Like I have both my arms and my legs, but I feel like I'm paralyzed from the leg down, even though I know I can walk.
So this like some Ricky Bobby.
Like, yes, this
I
basically
think
what that was.
so. They crazy as a Bessie bug.
Yes, and it's getting worse. I've seen, and that was just like the mild version. I seen where a dude blinded himself because he felt like he was blind, and I seen a dude amputate his legs.
He couldn't just close his eyes.
That's what I'm saying. You could put sunglasses on, like, and I'm just like at the point where now, mind you, somebody, I think it was you told me this was like years old, I think.
Yes.
And
On
my
Jerry
thing-
Springer, they had a guy who had cut his legs off because something in his brain was telling him he doesn't need his legs. His legs are slowing him down from being the best he could be.
and that's why mental health is so. I'm not even trying to be funny.
Dude, it's crazy how much mental health we are. And the crazy thing is, as we move on further and further down the road, these people are not looking so crazy.
They're not.
That's the crazy part.
They're not.
That just lets you know that we're allowing crazy to be the normal
Yes,
now.
and that's the thing. I was thinking, like, when I saw the videos, I was like, where do we draw the line? Like, where
There
is
is no line no more.
like,
The line was in a box, and that motherfucker got kicked. They drop kicked that box.
oh my god, I was like trans.
You know how crazy you got to be to allow. And I don't even know. And I don't want even people be talking about. Oh, you shouldn't use the word crazy. You crazy as hell if you say you want your legs cut off or you don't think you should be able to see, so you blind yourself.
Like, you really need.
And I already know. Well, I ain't gonna sit there and I don't want to stereotype because you know what? Now I just had a moment.
Yeah.
I just had a racist moment because I sure was gonna say what color. I was gonna say what color are they?
But see, that's ingrained in us, man.
Because anything crazy, I just be like
yeah,
white
yeah,
folks,
yeah.
white folks.
But I was thinking to myself, I was like, oh my god, I said, we are accepting everything.
why?
Like,
How? This is the thing. If you've already accepted one thing, how could you say
no,
this person can't be in the club of acceptance?
and that's the thing, you can't. Because now you're being discriminatory, and it's just
It's
I feel like this country is just it's a free for all now, and it feels like we're in a
now.
downward spiral.
I don't know how true this is because I only seen this on the clip. Somebody said, I think it was the Joe Rogan show, where they said societies, all the societies, the empires that have fallen throughout history, the last few years or the last, whatever years of before their demise,
Yeah.
men and women, the lines of what was supposed to be accepted in society were blurred. Men were trying to be dress up as women and be whatever they are, and women were trying to be dressed up as, or trying to be more manly. And it was like there was no lines because, like, with society and with a structure, a government, all that, there has to be structure involved. There can't be blurred lines of what's accepted, what's not accepted, and I think they said I don't know how true this is because, like I said, I only saw the clip. Don't sit there and think, oh, Canteen, you putting out fake news because this is what I seen. Okay.
Okay.
So I ain't did no history on this. I ain't did no research or none of that. But it was like, that's what happens in societies that have crumbled. They start being where the rules are blurred of what we accept and what we don't accept.
I mean, it does make sense.
I was like, oh, damn. So
I mean, and not to throw religion in there. Look at the Bible, Sodom and Gomorrah. Like anything went in that city.
damn, damn, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I mean everything.
Anything went. You could be
anything
whatever you
went.
want to be, and you could mess with whoever you want to mess with, and there was no repercussions for it.
And yeah,
And eventually that city was destroyed.
left a demise.
So and I'm not preaching, like I said, I'm not trying to preach hate. I love, I'm trying to love everybody, but there are some things in works that eventually are gonna come to fruition.
Yeah, I just feel like we are headed down a slippery slope. You know what I mean? Everybody can't do everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And and I'm not talking about like, okay, I'm not talking about anybody gay or anything like that. I'm just talking about like, no, because I don't want people to think that. I'm talking about the whole cutting off the limbs. And
So this is okay. This is what I believe. It starts off with back in the history where they were doing race, giving people with different races the rights to have things the same thing as each other.
okay.
Then it goes into sex, male and women, men and women having the same rights to do as they will. Then it goes from that to,
I'm thinking class.
no, I'm not even gonna say class because it's always gonna be poor and always gonna be rich. It's literally goes into, like I said, the gay movement, the gay and lesbian movement. Okay, so what you like, what do you prefer? Then it goes from there to people who want to be something that they're not born.
Yeah.
Then eventually it's gonna even get like, we're just seeing the beginning stages of this, but it's gonna go to something worse. And I don't want to say worse in the sense of it's bad, but worse in the sense of we don't accept it at this moment. Meaning, and I've always said this, and y'all can go ahead and remember I said this: pedophiles.
Yeah. Was it? I think
Pedophiles.
I think it was last year or the year before last. They tried to make it. They tried to make pedophilia a
Legal. Oh, not
they
legal.
try to make it an orientation.
Yeah.
And I'm
It's
just
coming.
like, nah, like
It's coming.
I mean, I believe it is.
You think
I'ma
it,
be
you
real.
think
I'ma
I'm
be real.
lying? Look, y'all think I'm crazy about this, but it's coming because the thing is, you can't. We're getting into the stage of where we already said with the gay movement. We already said you can't determine who loves who, right? That's what we all say. You can't determine who loves who. If a man loves another man, he should be able to do whatever he wants to do with that man. If a woman loves another woman, she should be able to do what she wants to do. Okay, cool. But then where does it end? Does it end with just adults? Because now this is gonna go into the point where they're gonna say, well, it's you're age phobic. You're age
Well, I
phobic.
mean, it's already started. Look at we keep using this dude as a reference, but look at uh D Wade's son or daughter, whichever one. I don't know what he
No,
identified
you said it right.
as.
You said it right the first time.
They're already like he's already switching his gender, and he's what 90? What 11,
I think he's like 12 now.
12?
Like, well, when you say switching his gender, I don't think he's actually
Well, he's
having
not doing the
the
surgery, but he's
But the
already
men, I mean, my thing is this: I wouldn't be surprised though if they're giving him estrogen pills,
hormones and
hormonal pills to make him sound and feel and look like a female at a young age. So my thing is, if you can change people's sex at a kid's age, then you can also change of what they can accept to do at a kid's age. That's what they're going to, I'm telling you, in my heart, this is what's going to end up happening. And we might not be around for it, but it's going to be like maybe 50,
I hope
100
not.
years. And mugs is going to be like, well, why do you get to decide who I get to be with and who I don't want to be with at that age? Because you got to realize, us what 200 years ago, maybe 100 years ago. Yeah, I would say 100 years ago. 100 years ago, you could date somebody that was like 15.
Yeah, and I think in Michigan it's legal to get married at 15. I believe it's Michigan.
I think you got to have
You gotta have some type of
parental
consent, but
like,
you
consent or
can
something.
still do it. But
I bet. Wait a minute, and where in Michigan?
Michigan,
Ain't that where R. Kelly from?
I thought he was from Chicago. He not from Chicago. I don't know where he's from. But
Yeah, you're right. Chicago. He is from Chicago. But I'm just saying, I wouldn't be surprised because like the same way I was like double taken when I seen two women walking down the street holding hands, I'm gonna see a kid and a man or whatever. Because like we've already, let's be real, in society, we've already semi-accepted women having
yeah,
relationships with younger men because we don't punish them for real. Teachers or whoever, they could
no.
lose their job, whatever. They
And
don't really lose nothing.
that goes and that's it's crazy about the mindset because for some reason, like even when you just said it, then my mind didn't like register anything
Like that's wrong.
like that's wrong. But let it be a dude.
Let it be a dude
Um,
messing with a
a young
helpless one. Because you know what? We still in this mode that women need to be protected from the elements from danger. But and the reality is, and this is what I've always said, we live in a day and age now, shit, men need to be protected from sometimes from women.
it feel like there's this TikTok I saw, and you probably saw it's going viral. This dude singing a song,
Mm-hmm.
and while he's singing, his girlfriend hauls off and slaps
Oh
the black off.
hell
I
no.
mean,
What?
cock. You haven't seen it? This
Nah.
dude has gone viral for getting slapped by his girlfriend.
Like hard.
I mean, you don't even see her. You don't even see her behind him. All you see is the hands. I mean, just and for whatever reason, she hits this dude.
What'd he do?
He just kept singing like it.
It didn't phase him.
Nah, you could tell you could tell his eyes were like tearing up, like he wanted to.
So he just kept with the song. Like it was
He
like
just
it
kept
didn't.
going like it didn't happen. And I was like,
Was he driving?
no, he was in his bedroom singing the song on, I guess, TikTok live. I guess you can go live on TikTok. And
I don't know
she
how.
just-
I don't. I can tell you. I know for a fact I would have. Woo! That could not be me. Okay, it says dudes don't get away with anything. They are held accountable for everything. Yep, we are. They say it's a man's world, right? So I guess, and look, I'm okay with. I accept it. I accept that we're going to be held accountable for all our actions.
yeah,
I accept that women are not going to be held accountable for all the actions that they do. I just live. I live inside whatever conforms y'all try to put us in, but we're getting at a point now where y'all want to be equal.
somebody
Y'all want to be equal, so I'm gonna give you this equal. Let me cool out because
he did equal.
I gotta see the video because I show
I gotta
What up,
find it.
Burton? What up, bro?
I gotta find it.
I don't
I mean,
mind
she
slapping.
just slaps the hell out of this dude.
See, that's when you know your woman don't have no respect for you. Because for you to be going live, and maybe this was planned. Maybe it was planned. Maybe he told her to do this. He had to tell her to do this. He had to. Because there's no way on God's green earth I'm doing a live and somebody slapped me and the live continues. Like I just didn't it didn't happen.
That's how he was doing it. He was still singing the
I think
song.
I think he's just trolling everybody. I think he did that shit on purpose because there's no way she don't wake up the next morning. She don't wake up next
Pause.
morning.
Like, hold on, y'all. Give me 2 minutes.
Yeah.
What do you say?
So no, it would have been this. This would have been I'd have been singing "Oh Happy Day" and it got slapped. Hold up, y'all. And then the next video you would have said it would have been like, "Hey y'all, just gonna be my last video. I'm going to jail. So please coming right now. You see the lights in the background. I'll holler at y'all." That's what it would have been. He said,
He took it
"See, you guys sued a chick.
because she dipped on him on midday.
See, a guy sued a chick because she dipped on him mid-date."
1731 is what he sued her for. I mean,
I think that's more of a principle thing. I wouldn't even deal with. I ain't gonna sue somebody for $17.31. That don't even seem. That's some viral. That's some trying to get attention, trying to get noticed thing.
well, my thing is that it is disrespectful. I might have did the same thing.
Sued her.
Yeah, but yo, you go dip on me? Shit,
Oh,
who
it was
you?
mid-date. So it was
Yeah,
like, oh,
like-
we were eating, and then you just when I went to the bathroom, you just left.
Like, gone.
I don't think I'd sue you, but I sure would send you a little cash app like, hey, you owe me this amount or whatever, you know, and I just be done with you. This is the thing, fellas.
That is a bit excessive.
Life
that
is
one.
too short to continue with somebody who blatantly disrespects you. For them to walk out in the middle of a date, it's like the man. I wish I lived in the 1940s.
I don't.
Well, no, maybe not 19. But give me like 19.
70s maybe.
Yeah, give me 70s.
That means
Give
there
me
was still-
70s. Because
there was still-
1940s, it was still like, hey boy, where you going?
Yeah.
You know?
70s was kind of like that, but it was things were starting to tip in our favor. So
I'll be like, I probably would say, yeah, give me the 70s because the way I see the videos of women disrespecting men to the utmost, it's just crazy to me. But then I look at the guys and how you respond to it tells a lot because and I've been guilty of it. You don't have to respond in a feminine way when women disrespect you or when anybody disrespects you. Because the thing is, if you look at yourself as a king, there's no way you should lash back at a woman for her disrespect. You just leave her. Get out of my presence. You're not worth my time.
Brandon said there is no time before the 90s you want to live in. That's true. That is true.
Yeah, because the 80s was crack epidemic time. I
Well,
mean, let's say
he's talking
this.
about racism and well, segregation was really
So racism and segregation gone now?
well.
Well, segregation
is pretty much gone.
segregation's still here. We got sections in the cities where it's just black folks and white, and then you got sections in other cities where white folks is only allowed. You walk in that, you're gonna get pulled over. I know this. Just like in Colin Kaepernick in Black and White. Go watch it on Netflix. Hopefully he can go ahead and sponsor us.
Let's see. Burton said, "Leveling out the playing field is all these females is singing. Is a reason they always complain about men on TV because no one wants them, or they want men that don't exist." That's a rough one.
I just want to correct you. You said singing. It's single.
Single. Sorry. I'm having a moment.
He
I
said
said singing. My
yeah.
bad.
All right. He says the right answer is you shouldn't deal with females that behave that way. You shouldn't deal with them. And I think
Well, how would he know?
because they give you clues. Any woman who's a disrespectful woman will give you clues. she will do certain things, and if you don't check her immediately, then she's gonna take it even further. It's just like in life, dude. You got guys. My dad had a moment one time where he went over one of my mom's friends' houses, and their uncle had said, he had met him before, said hi, what up, what up. The next time my dad went over there, that guy was like, "What up, fat mother?" And the guy and my dad immediately had to check him. Who are you talking to? I'll beat you. Nothing came from it. The guy gave him respect from then on. And that's what you have to do. Sometimes you have to let them know I'm not the one to be played with. You
Yeah.
play that. You play it with other people. Don't play that with me. What's that one? What's that one slogan people say? Uh, try God, don't try me, or something like that.
Yeah, try Jesus.
Yeah, try Jesus, don't try me. He said the guy name is Dre Hughes. Is that the guy who got slapped?
That might be him.
And not even that. And let me say this: this could be a whole prank, and he's just doing this to get clout and try to get famous.
I mean,
And maybe
if that's a prank, he took one for the tank.
no, because they got pranks where people will be like say every episode, like there's this couple where this one guy, they're Puerto Rican, and the guy always gets like verbally lashed by his girlfriend. Now I know they probably aren't like that in real life, but he does it for the show to make it. But I can say right now, if you gonna make a series of you doing songs and your girlfriend just come out of nowhere slapping you, you're portraying something that's gonna end up worse for you, because if even though you'll get the money outside of that, you're gonna get disrespect. Because if I see you as a man and your woman disrespects you, why would I give you respect?
Yeah, because you don't respect yourself enough
Facts.
to stand up to the lady. But going back on chivalry, we was talking about this today at work.
What?
There was a chair that needed to be moved. It was just a simple task. A chair needed to be moved from one spot to another. Right?
Okay.
There was a dude and a female. I just had me walking by, and the dude was like, "Well, why don't you take the chair down the hall?" And she was like, "Well, you're a man. Why don't you do it?" And he was like, "That ain't got nothing." I said, "My gender." He's like, "That my gender has nothing to do with me moving this chair." He said, you should go and move it." And she's like, "Well, chivalry is dead." And he was like, "No, y'all want equality, so you can grab that chair
See,
and move it down."
women get confused what chivalry is.
I was like,
Chivalry is
"Oh,
something that I am doing. I don't have to do, but I'm doing it because I want to do it. Meaning, if I'm walking by and I'll pull your chair up on you, out for you, open the door for you. That's something I don't have to do it. I choose to do it. And if I don't do it, you don't make a point to make it seem like I have to do that. That's not chivalry. Okay, ladies? You ordering us to do certain things that you want us to do is not a chivalrous thing. Chivalrous is me wanting to do it. If I say, "Here, let me get that chair for you," that's me being chivalrous. Don't think it's chivalry just because you say, "Hey, can you grab that chair?" And I say no. It's not chivalrous. I don't want to do it. Okay, I don't have to do it because I'm a man. I do it because I want to be nice.
yeah,
But that's what they got confused. They think it's, oh, he's a man supposed to do this. No, a nice man who wants to be nice towards you does those things. Ladies, okay, let's see what Brandon said. He said, "Here's the thing for me. I can't stand disrespect for anyone, but I'd rather a woman have the courage to talk up than being afraid to speak out. There was a time where women would, oh my god, this already hurt my eyes.
we have to
Would
death.
get beat half to death because they disagreed a little.
That is true.
All I'm gonna say is this: you give them an inch, they take them out. I'm fucking with y'all. I'm fucking with y'all. Look, at the end of the day, LB, yes, I want girls to you should speak up, but disrespect. I think anybody in a with some sense knows what disrespect is. You disagreeing with me is not disrespectful. How you disagree with me, and and the tone you use, and like if I was like, "Hey, shut the fuck up," that's you disagreeing with what I'm talking about, but you said it in a disrespectful way. Hey, now if you pull me, babe, let me talk to you for a second. Pull me. I don't think we should do that. That's not disrespect. You pulled me to the side. You told me you didn't want us. You don't think you gave me your opinion. Now, if you Ike Turner and you just that's disrespect to you, you need counseling, bro. Okay, but I think people take one thing and they make it to an extreme.
Yeah,
Oh, well, she don't have a voice if she says something and he fucking tells her, stop being disrespectful. And I think that comes from, and I'm gonna be honest, and at least in the black community, we don't allow kids to have no voice.
no. Kids are to be seen and not heard.
If a kid says something they disagree with, it's being parents will say you're being disrespectful. And it's not being disrespectful. And that's the problem with us as when we become adults. We think our word is
Law.
almighty law, and the fact that we're always right and we're not always right. Sometimes kids can actually have more wisdom on certain things than we do, but we don't want to hear them out. And that's the same thing I think women have fear of. They think that the man is not listening to them. They want to be heard. And in turn, they think, oh, that's gonna be. It's not disrespectful to have an opinion.
No, it's really not. I don't go. I still do that to this day. My nieces talk.
You don't listen.
I be like, "What you know about anything?" That's
That's what I'm saying. You've already, but this is the thing. You've already shut your brain off from even accepting anything they're saying.
yes, and they can be saying everything right, and I be like, "Who talking to you?" Like,
Hey, we all been through there. We all been there, man. I remember times where I would come. My parents would have like little get-togethers, and they be playing spades, and I want to learn spades. So I'm like, hey, what you doing over here?
Exactly.
Why are you even in a grown folks business?
Yo, everybody.
Y'all know they was wrong for that. They could have just taught us the game, but instead they felt like we weren't worthy enough as children. And the hardest thing I think in just being a human is to not be heard.
Yeah, to feel like you're invisible.
Side note: my daughter asked me how to spell tortoise.
Turquoise.
Oh, thank God. All right, and it made look. All right, we 1 for 1, motherfucker. We 1 for 1. All right. At least mine was harder. Okay, turquoise, and it made my question. It made my question my whole educational career. Hey, bro, look, you spelled turquoise, and I still thought that shit said tortoise. Hey, that's that HBCU, baby. And I went to all white school. So look, all right. Clearly, me and Beans need to go back to school and get a couple, reading classes. Because he thinks single is singing, and I think turquoise is tortoise. Now I'm trying to think, how the fuck you spell tortoise? Put in the comment section for tortoise for me, y'all.
Oh man, we need a word of the day
I know, right?
calendar. Who the
So, Thanksgiving. Did everybody just tear some motherfucking food up? Because let me just go ahead and tell y'all about my trip. This is why we didn't have
few
episodes, because I was down in Florida. Shout out Mom and Pops.
living his best life.
And we had the first time in like 5 or 6 years, me, my mother, my father, my sister, and my nephew all came together for Thanksgiving. It was lovely. Now, my mother, she is like, when she finally, like when things like this happen, she wants to please everybody. So she works her ass off to make sure everybody's got exactly what they want. And when I tell you, bro, we had like 8 or 9 desserts. We had carrot cake, red velvet cake, apple pie, pecan pie, not pumpkin. Let me stop going, cross that out. Sweet potato pie. We had banana pudding. We had, did I say apple already? Um, we had pound cake. We had so many desserts. It was unreal. And honestly, I was in a coma for like 4 days because it just don't stop on Thanksgiving. You're gonna go a couple days eating the same thing till it's almost done. You never really finish it all. You know what I mean? Especially, but I didn't eat in knock. Look, knock on wood. I'm telling y'all, I haven't eaten meat. Pause on in probably about 4 months, and I feel a lot better physically. Now, have I lost any weight? Probably not, because I'll be eating these carbs up, and that's the one thing I'm trying to get off of, letting these carbs go. But
It's
it's
tough.
hard, y'all. It's
It's
hard.
tough. Even I'm having a hard time. This is the toughest time of the year. This is a big eating
And
holiday. Christmas, uh, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. Big eating and drinking holidays all back to back.
right and wrong. And the thing is, if you could just call it, just say fuck it, I'm not gonna do nothing this holiday and just focus on working out and eating right for these months, you'll come out in the summertime looking great.
Yeah.
But with everything that happened with COVID and the shutdown and the vaccines and all this other stuff, people are like, man, I'm not sacrificing a good time for my health.
Because it's having a good time and socializing and things like that. It's like worth more now
It's worth way more.
because that whole year 2020 itself wasn't nobody doing nothing.
But then you just think about, you could be gone any moment.
Yeah.
And do you really want to not eat them sweet potatoes and mac and cheese this year when this might be your last one? But that shit's over now. We're going on 2022. We made it. We made it. Well, we ain't made it yet, but we got this month.
Season finale.
Yeah, and
2021 season finale.
we're gonna get into some more. It's gonna be some more bangers. We're going, like I said, we're gonna be doing reaction videos. We're getting all that together for the YouTube channel, because I know y'all want to see us react to crazy stuff as we do.
Yeah.
And we're gonna keep doing the podcast on the Facebook and put it on the YouTube channel. But what are you thankful for, man?
Truth be told, I'm not gonna lie. The way people have been passing away this year, I am very thankful for my health and for being alive.
Mm, that's good.
I mean, a lot of people say, "Oh, you can," because when I was young, people, "Oh, at least you got your health. At least you." I used to be like, "Man, that's loser talk. What you talking about?" I'm not gonna lie.
You only understand that until you get older, and you
and
see people dying.
people dying, people getting sick. I mean, just this past week, during Thanksgiving, we had a coworker pass away,
Yeah, we did.
and it's just these past 2 years has reminded me to just to be thankful for your life and live.
Yeah, live, guys,
I mean,
because life is too short to. And this is what this episode we I'm telling y'all. I'm gonna say it one more last time. Go watch the Colin Kaepernick Black and White, because life is too short to do what other people want you to do. Do what's in your heart and in your mind and in your gut. Because I'm telling you right now, even though you might have to sacrifice some things for doing what you want to do, in the long run, you'll be better off for it.
I mean, that's the whole reason why we started this podcast too. I mean, love or hate it, we both have the same mindset as far as the life we were living.
Wasn't
It,
satisfied.
yeah, it wasn't a bad life. We don't have bad lives, but like you said, it was not.
It wasn't fulfilling.
Yeah, it wasn't fulfilling.
And just doing this show with my man literally makes me feel like I have some purpose in the fact of bringing entertainment to y'all, having a voice, being heard, and doing what we passionate about, and trying to do something that we want to do, not what other people are telling us to do.
Yeah.
We've had so many times on this show that people, when we first started, trying to tell us how to run this show, how to do what to talk about. And it's like, I'll listen, I'll hear what you got to say. But at the end of the day, we started this. And
Yeah.
we're going to keep doing what we do. So y'all go ahead and do what y'all do, man. Anything else you want to say before we get up out of here?
I don't know. We summed it up. I was gonna say watch Colin Kaepernick again, but you said it already.
Oh yeah. All right, y'all. Look, today's Friday. Y'all go ahead and have a good weekend. Don't forget what the man did to you this week. Just enjoy your week, and we'll come back to y'all Monday and do it all over again, man. Hey, I'm your boy Canteen. This is my man Beans.
All right.
Hey, it's a Social Norm podcast. We out this piece.
Have a good one.
Peace. Do.